What if the secret to living a life of success, purpose, and deep fulfillment could be boiled down to just 7 powerful habits? Not trends, not shortcuts, but timeless principles that work across every culture, every career, and every stage of life. That's exactly what Stephen Covey shares in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a book so impactful it has transformed millions of lives worldwide since it was first published. By the end of this video, you won't just know the 7 habits, you'll see how they can practically shift the way you think, work, and live. Let's break them down one by one. Habit 1. Be proactive. Take responsibility for your life. Covey begins with the most fundamental truth. You are the author of your life story. Reactive people complain, blame, and wait for circumstances to change. They say things like, "I can't succeed because of my boss," or "I can't be happy because of the economy." Proactive people flip that script. They recognize that while they can't control everything, they can always control their attitude, their choices, and their actions. Covey introduces the circle of concern and circle of influence. Most people waste energy on things they can't control: politics, the weather, gossip. Effective people, however, put energy into what they can influence, like their health, their work ethic, their relationships. And here's the kicker. The more you focus on your circle of influence, the more it grows. Practical story. Think about someone who's laid off from work. A reactive person might spiral into bitterness, spending months blaming the economy. A proactive person would update their resume, learn new skills, and network daily. Within months, they're back on their feet. The lesson? Life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Live with vision. This habit is about direction. Too many people spend their lives climbing the ladder of success, only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. Covey says, don't just run faster, make sure you're running in the right race. Beginning with the end in mind means identifying your values, your purpose, and your ultimate vision of life. Imagine your funeral. What would you want your family, your friends, and your colleagues to say about you? That thought exercise strips away the noise and brings your true priorities to light. When you live with a clear end in mind, decision-making becomes easier. You're not just chasing money or status. You're pursuing a vision that aligns with who you want to become. Practical story. One entrepreneur I read about spent years chasing wealth. He finally hit millions but felt deeply empty. When he stopped to ask, "What legacy do I want to leave?" the answer was clear: impact. He rebuilt his business around mentorship and social impact projects, and only then did fulfillment kick in. Habit 3. Put first things first. Discipline your priorities. If habit 2 is about knowing your direction, habit 3 is about walking it daily. Covey draws a distinction between what's urgent and what's important. Urgent things scream for attention: emails, notifications, endless meetings. Important things, on the other hand, rarely scream, but they build your future. Nurturing relationships, exercising, planning, learning. Highly effective people don't let the urgent crowd out the important. They live in what Covey calls Quadrant 2, the space of important but not urgent activities. That's where real growth happens. Practical story. Picture a busy parent who spends years working overtime to provide a better life, but in the process misses birthdays, school plays, and family dinners. Years later, they realize they provided things but lost moments. Putting first things first means flipping that script. Scheduling your priorities instead of just prioritizing your schedule. Habit 4. Think win-win, mutual benefit over competition. Covey challenges the mindset of scarcity, the belief that for me to win, you must lose. Instead, he promotes abundance thinking, believing there's enough success, love, recognition, and opportunity for everyone. A win-win mindset doesn't mean you always get your way. It means seeking solutions where everyone walks away better off. In relationships, it builds trust. In business, it creates partnerships instead of rivalries. In life, it transforms negotiation into collaboration. Practical story. 2 shop owners once competed in the same town, slashing prices to steal customers. Both struggled. Eventually, they partnered, co-hosting events, sharing suppliers, and recommending each other when customers needed products the other sold. Their revenues doubled, and the community trusted them more. That's win-win in action. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. The art of empathic listening. Here's a hard truth. Most people don't listen. They just wait for their turn to reply. Covey flips this on its head. Before you try to be understood, deeply understand the other person. That means listening with empathy, not just your ears. When you listen this way, people open up. Conflicts dissolve. Relationships heal. Because everyone wants the same thing, to feel heard and valued. Only after truly understanding can you share your perspective in a way that resonates. Practical story. A father kept arguing with his teenage son about poor grades. Nothing changed until one day he stopped lecturing and simply asked, "How do you feel about school?" The boy admitted he felt overwhelmed and pressured. That moment of listening shifted their relationship, and the son's performance improved. Habit 6. Synergize, the magic of collaboration. Synergy is Covey's word for creative teamwork. It's not just cooperation, it's creating outcomes that neither person could achieve alone. When people bring different perspectives, skills, and experiences, the results are often surprising and extraordinary. Too often we fear differences, but effective people see differences as assets. They don't want clones, they want collaborators. That's where breakthrough innovation, strong teams, and enduring relationships are born. Practical story. Think about a music band. The drummer alone is noise, the guitarist alone is rhythm, and the singer alone is melody. But together, they create magic that none could achieve on their own. In business, teams that value diverse ideas innovate faster and outperform those that don't. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw, continuous renewal. Finally, Covey ends with sustainability. You can't run on empty and expect lasting success. Sharpening the saw means regularly renewing yourself in 4 areas: physical, exercise, rest, health; mental, learning, reading, growth; social, emotional, relationships, service; and spiritual, purpose, inner peace. This habit prevents burnout. It ensures your effectiveness isn't just a sprint, but a marathon. Think of it as oiling the engine that powers all the other habits. Practical story. A corporate executive bragged about working 16-hour days, never resting, never exercising. Eventually, stress and illness forced him to quit. Compare that with someone who balances work, family, learning, and self-care. They don't just succeed, they sustain their success. And there you have it. 7 timeless habits that don't just change what you do, but who you become. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits do you feel you need to work on most right now? Is it being more proactive, listening better, or maybe prioritizing the important over the urgent? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. This has been the Summary Shelf, where books aren't just summarized, they're transformed into tools you can use today. If this breakdown helped you, hit the like button, subscribe for more powerful book lessons, and stay tuned, because the next book we cover might just open a new door in your life.